Io Shirai responds to those WWE departure rumors, plus a returning NXT star is getting a new look, and a popular NXT star has turned heel. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Io Shirai, the genius of the sky. We miss her, don't we, Andrew?
We miss her very much. We haven't seen her since, I think, the beginning of April in an NXT Women's Fatal 4-Way match. And since then, she's been off TV, Tom.
Was it since April?
Yeah, it feels like it was a long time ago. And I mean, it has been a long time, I guess, as well.
To the point where Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio reported that Io Shirai was, quote, pretty much gone from WWE. And Io Shirai has responded to these rumors doing the rounds on Twitter in fun fashion. What she said, Andrew?
She just said rumours. With the sick emoji face.
I was hoping she'd written.
That's what she was thinking in her head, right?
So rumours, sick emoji from Io Shirai. So it looks. I mean, that would indicate that maybe she's sticking around.
I'd hope so. I think. I'd personally like to see her on the main roster because I think we need some more contenders for women's championships on the main roster so we don't continue doing the same circling of the same people.
And she's so good. She could really revolutionize Raw or SmackDown's women's division by just appearing.
I mean, definitely. Like, I think her style is a lot different from a lot of the people on the main roster as well. And I think that would be something very exciting to showcase. And also, I think it'd be good to showcase like this clash of styles between Io Shirai's high-flying stuff and someone else's more grounded sort of take on wrestling.
And we'll keep an eye on what Shirai does next. On NXT 2.0, it's been announced that for the first time ever, the NXT UK tag titles will be defended on the show. Josh Briggs, Brooks Jensen, I keep calling them Brooks and Dunn. Sorry, lads, but you are Brooks and Dunn now. You're putting them up against Pretty Deadly next week. Is this where Pretty Deadly win the titles back?
Oh,
for the UK.
Do you know, I could kind of see that happening, and then sort of Briggs and Jensen chasing after them again. I couldn't help, Tom, because this whole thing sort of got set up last night in a cowboy bar in a saloon, right? And all I could think about in my head was NXT 2.0. Do you remember the program Zap?
Yes.
Remember that? That's what it feels like now because we just bounce between one thing to another thing, and it feels like they're in completely separate universes.
So we pan out and they're all like hanging out in the comic strips.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, come to me, look at me next.
That's what it feels like to me. But do you know what? Like, I'm intrigued to see how this one goes down. I kind of actually would like to see Pretty Deadly win too because I think they're so good at being just arrogant heels who have belts.
Plus, I have a theory that Pretty Deadly are probably going to pop home soon and visit family. So I reckon they're going to win the titles as an excuse to take them back to the UK, lose them in the UK, and then go back to America. So basically, they're going, since you're going home, can you take these belts with you?
I mean, that would make sense. That would definitely make sense.
Is it a sad thing that for some championships, it's all about who is the most prestigious, who should hold this? Who could really elevate that particular division, that particular show? For this, I genuinely think it's down to logistics.
Yeah.
If you're going home, can you take them back with you?
I mean, it's a shame as well because I thought maybe they might utilize them a little bit more on NXT 2.0 TV.
I mean, they might still. This is just my theory.
That's very true. That's very true. We will see.
A returning NXT star and former NXT UK star getting a shiny new look.
They certainly are. So Axiom, the former A-Kid, obviously, in NXT UK, is going to be in action. And obviously, we saw recently, he seems to be a bit of a math genius, right? A maths genius, as we saw. But this time, we saw a video package that presented Axiom as more of like a comic book fan as well. And inspired by this, he's now going to wear a mask too. And he speaks like a crime fighter. I could be a symbol. I remain anonymous because it's not about me. It's about everyone else. Kind of like a little bit like Spider-Man.
It's a bit
quite like
a bit Keith Spider-Man. Isn't he?
The mask that he's got on, it reminds me very much of like sort of Japanese superheroes and stuff as well. Sort of away from kind of like the more westernized superhero masks and things that we see, and maybe
a bit Kamen Rider.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And do you know what? We'll see what happens with this. I'm quite intrigued. I think I think A-Kid's got or Axiom, sorry, has got the in-ring acumen. So I think he's absolutely going to pull this off. The backflips and stuff in the promo video felt very Ricochet to me a little bit as well. So maybe that's Axiom's going to be like NXT 2.0's answer to Ricochet, perhaps. Who knows? I'd like to see them two go at it at some point down the line as well.
That's a nice idea.
I think that would be because I feel like the whole superhero thing is kind of like Ricochet's shtick as well, and like them sort of facing off together. I'd quite like to see that.
I hope that whilst they are focusing on this in this vignette, they focus on him being a comic book fan, not a comic book guy. That's a very different character. They focus more on him being a comic book fan, but last time, as you say, he was a mathematician. I hope we're not dropping that mathematician part.
I think that's... I hope
you give me both.
The superhero and mathematician thing goes hand in hand, right? Because a lot of superheroes
Mathman.
Exactly. A lot of superheroes are usually geniuses. Spider-Man, Reed Richards, many superheroes. So they go hand in hand. So, yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it's going to go down. What happens if he does, like, a Spider-Man thing and he's like, I've got to mix a chemical in the ring and then throw it at the opponent?
So he becomes a web slinger as well.
Yeah. Like makes smoke bombs to throw off his opponents or something. I don't know.
That's a wonderful idea.
I don't know if it is, but we'll see.
From maths. Do you know the amount of Americans that got on my case for saying maths last week and not math?
What it is in England. Yeah.
I got told I should speak better English by an American. From maths to chemistry to English. Another QR code this week on NXT gave us Wordle. So there was a QR code that popped up on NXT 2.0 last night that gave us a completed Wordle quiz. Now, from the Wordle thing, we can decipher that there's an O in the word somewhere and there's a C at the end. Internet clever people have deciphered that the word very likely could be havoc.
Ooh.
Halloween havoc is the only thing I can think of.
God, that's a fair way off, though, isn't it? Are we building up to something already? I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, otherwise, feel free to stick below your thoughts on who and what that could potentially be. It might not be havoc, but I think a lot of people went, there's an O in it somewhere.
Yep.
There's definitely a C at the end. Havoc.
We were talking about the numbers last week as well, weren't we? We were like, it was like 8, 10, 11 or something. So we were doing the whole 8, like A, B, C, D, F, G kind of thing. And there was like H and
H, J, K. If the letters translate into numbers, we've got H, J, K.
Yes.
Just kidding. No,
I'm just kidding. Got you. We're going to drop this next week.
Tell you who wasn't kidding last night. Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Sad news to see what happened down here. So what happened last night?
So we had the title match between Roxanne Perez and Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's Championship. It looked like things were starting to go Perez's way. There was a little kerfuffle on the outside. Roxanne Perez hits I think it's called the Pop Rocks, which is like the code red, onto the outside onto Mandy Rose, and she gets rid of Toxic Attraction. They get thrown about and whatnot. She rolls Mandy Rose back into the ring. She climbs up onto the apron, and then Cora Jade, oh my goodness, Cora Jade takes off her belt and then boof right into the back of Roxanne Perez.
Back of Perez. Exactly. Had it all taped up before the match.
And then that leads Mandy to hit the knee for the 1, 2, 3, and then after the match, just to solidify this heel turn, Cora Jade gets in the ring with her skateboard, and the skateboard breaks before she can hit Roxanne Perez. And that bit looks a bit bad, but still, I'm these two facing off against each other. I guess this might be a good way of building up Roxanne a little bit more, because obviously she's only recently sort of just come into NXT 2.0, and I think to build up on the popularity and everything a little bit more, have her on the back foot for a bit, and then she can get the big babyface win, can't she?
I thought, there were some obvious reasons why people will have issue with it.
Yeah.
I thought the turn angle was good. I thought Cora Jade was really good in it. The skateboard breaking before it even landed on Roxanne Perez, I was a bit gutted for him for that particular bit. It was a weird glitch in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. And also, Team 2001 have been, from the moment they first teamed on television to yesterday, 36 days. I have a yogurt in my fridge that's lasted longer than Team 2001. I'm not eating it, but. But I thought they kind of is this something that maybe could have been played out a little longer? I know with NXT 2.0 everything is much quicker.
Oh, definitely.
It's much faster these days.
It is. And I can't keep up with these whippersnappers, I tell you.
You know, we've got teams that sometimes break up after a month.
Yes.
Or more than a month. But 36 days they were together for, and then it's a heel turn for Cora Jade. Interesting, because I think Cora Jade's like a very popular babyface.
Yeah, I think she is as well. I think so. I'm intrigued. I think sort of the whole skater look and everything. I think that can lend itself well to being like an angsty wrestler, an angsty teenager in like a heel role. I can see that happening, and I think, do you know what? I think she'd be pretty good at it as well.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I think whether or not they own it and they just have every time she comes up with a skateboard, it just breaks.
It just breaks it.
Half of it says "see you later, boy," and it's gone. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day via Cultaholic.com. Until then, keys.
Love you, bye.